Hey everybody, this is Spirit Guide Najee. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I want to take the time to introduce myself, my story, and also how I can help you. I'm a board certified life coach, and I firmly believe that pain travels through families until someone is strong enough to hold it and heal it. That person who is strong enough to heal trauma, stop drama, and end karma is called the chosen one. Now, I know that title may sound a little over the top, but when you really start to recognize what's involved with growth, personal self-development, and actually getting down to the root cause of whatever the issue is, it's called work. And my friends, not everybody is willing to do the work. What work is that? That work is to heal trauma, stop drama, and end karma. You heard me right. The inner work is to heal trauma, stop drama, and end karma. But why? What do we really want? We really want to be able to solve our own problems, achieve our goals, and change whatever situation we're in. We want to be able to rely on our own selves to find the answers. We really want to know how. That's the answer that we're always asking ourselves, and that's what we really want out of life. We want to figure out how. And I figured out how in the most interesting of ways. And for me to figure out how actually required me getting to the bottom. And I mean the bottom, I mean rock bottom. I reached a point in my own life where I ended up failing out of college, gaining 150 pounds, and being stuck in a failing relationship, broke at my mom's house. And when I reached this point, it was extremely devastating because my entire life I've already had low self-esteem. I was already searching for the answer of how to be good enough. And going to college and getting a degree and becoming a psychologist was my answer. And when that didn't happen, that totally devastated me. And I knew it was my fault. I was like, I know it's my fault. I graduated honors in AP and gifted, magna cum laude my whole life. And this was my fault. This was my one chance for me to make something of myself and be good enough, and I failed. And when I hit rock bottom, I literally became suicidal. And before I did anything rash, I was actually able to stop and do a few things that were extremely important. I was able to stop judging myself, start asking powerful questions, actively listen to what I was saying, and then remain objective. When I was able to do this, I was able to discover something very important, that I was telling people what to do. And that was the first discovery. I was like, wait a minute, I'm trying to help my ex and it's not working. Why? Well, wait a minute, I found out that I've been telling people what to do for a long time. I'm like, well, why is that a problem? Because I tell myself what to do? Oh, well, that was the reason. I discovered that I spoke to myself very harshly, very meanly. I was very demanding and uncompromising with myself, and I motivated myself through fear. Well, guess what? Other people didn't operate like that, but I operate like that. But it was so unconscious and automatic, it wasn't even a problem. Well, when I recognized that I was doing things that didn't actually work, I was like, well, what else am I doing that doesn't actually work? And when I was able to actually step back and do those things, ask powerful questions, actively listen, remain objective, and not judge myself, I didn't even know I was practicing the very bare bones of coaching. And it just so happens in that moment, around that time, my mom was like, hey, you should become a life coach. I was like, a life coach? I'm so messed up. How can I charge anybody anything? I have all these problems. And then I recognized, if I could coach myself, if I could be client zero, if I could do this inner work on myself, if I can help myself heal my own trauma in my mind so I can stop the drama, which is I'm acting on, and then break the negative karmic cycles, these negative feedback cycles that I was stuck in, I knew that I had something. And what I did is I took those basic tenets and I mixed them with the basic tenets of coaching, and I mixed them with spiritual principles, and I was able to create my own methodology called mental alchemy. Mental alchemy is a powerful form of pattern recognition that allows the user to identify the unconscious patterns that keep them stuck in a cycle. How? By identifying the root cause. And once we identify the root cause, we can start to make the appropriate shifts that cause internal shifts, and it allows you to manifest those internal shifts outwardly. What I started to recognize is that the patterns that all of us are stuck in, these things operate on 4 basic tenets. And those basic tenets boil down to one thing, which is fear. I started to recognize my low self-esteem was created from fear. And I'll get into that in later videos and get into the deeper description. But what do you really want? You want to live life on your own terms. That's what you want to do. You really want to live life on your own terms. You want to have the answers for your own self, and you want to stop yourself from going around in the cycle. All of us have things that we're doing that diminish the quality of our life, and they affect our inner peace, our power, our presence, and our performance. And we really want, as a high performers and entrepreneurs, we really want those 4 things. We want to have the inner peace so we can do what we want to do. We definitely want to be able to have the power for us to execute in terms of confidence and the know-how. We definitely want the ability to be present so we can make whatever pivots that are necessary. And we definitely want to perform at our highest and our best, not just for our clients, but for ourselves. And this is why self-awareness is the master key to access answers internally. Once we recognize that we're living in the age of information, and information is knowledge, we start to recognize if knowledge is power, then self-knowledge is ultimate power. It's ultra critical for you guys to be able to know how you operate, but more importantly, why you operate the way that you do. Once you know why you operate the way that you operate, then you're in charge of you. When you're self-aware, you know your strengths, your weaknesses, and then you start to discover your blind spots and why those blind spots operate the way that they do, how they operate the way that they do, what's going on. And once you're able to develop this loving relationship with yourself, and you're just like a computer, you've got to figure out how it works. You want to be able to figure out how you work. And this is not me preaching the law and the doctrine to you. This is us going through a co-creative process of guided self-awareness where you're able to discover these patterns and shift them. Instead of just dealing with the symptoms on the outside, we want to go on the inside and say, hey, when this happens, and when I believe this, and when I do this, this causes this, and then we can shift it. And that's the most important thing that we want to do. We want to be able to shift our perspective. And when we can shift our perspective, this allows us to develop more inner peace, more power, more presence, and this enhances our performance. This is Spirit Guide Najee. I'm a board certified life coach, and I'm here for you to help you heal trauma, stop drama, and end karma. Welcome, 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 welcome to the next level. And the next level is getting to know you at the deepest levels. I cannot wait to work with you.